attempts at negotiations. A senior White House official told Reuters that, quote, there are no plans for President Trump to meet with President Putin in the immediate future.
You spoke about meeting in Hungary with him. Do you have a timeline or a date set for when?
I would say within 2 weeks or so. Pretty quick.
Trump had announced last week that he and Putin would meet soon in Hungary to try and bring an end to the war in Ukraine.
President Trump, sir, do you believe you can convince Vladimir Putin to end the war in Ukraine?
He met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Friday and afterward endorsed Kiev's demand for an immediate ceasefire based on the current battle lines. Moscow has long demanded Kiev agree to cede more territory before any ceasefire. Reuters and other news organizations reported that Trump's meeting with Zelensky behind closed doors was contentious, with the U.S. president repeatedly using profanity and pushing Zelensky to accept some Russian demands. But Zelensky has painted the meeting as a success because it ended with Trump publicly backing a ceasefire at the present lines.
And we had a very good meeting, very cordial meeting. In my opinion, they should stop the war immediately. You go by the battle line wherever it is, otherwise it's too complicated. You'll never be able to figure it out.
Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov on Tuesday said pausing fighting on the current front line would mean, quote, forgetting about the root causes of the conflict. He said Russia had not changed its position since Trump and Putin met in Alaska in August, a meeting that failed to advance negotiations.
New Directions Community Credit Union is now open in Titusville. They may be new to our community, but they've been serving our region since 1974, providing their members with affordable products and services. Membership is open to anyone who lives, works, worships, volunteers, attends school, regularly conducts business, or who owns a business in Venango, Forest, Warren, or Crawford counties. Visit their new location at 206 South Martin Street in Titusville to learn more about becoming a member. Best of luck to all the students and athletes this fall from New Directions Community Credit Union.
Looking for expert orthopedic care? Dr. Charlie Gates, a trusted name at Titusville Area Hospital, can help you regain mobility and a better quality of life. With years of experience and a passion for personalized care, Dr. Gates specializes in treating a wide range of orthopedic conditions. Whether it's joint pain, sports injuries, or orthopedic surgery, trust Dr. Charlie Gates at Titusville Area Hospital for your orthopedic care. Call 814-827-9770 today to schedule your appointment.
Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning provides residential and light commercial air conditioning services throughout the area. They understand the importance of your cooling system working properly. That is why you can trust in Vanderhoof to do the job right. Whether it's a non-working air conditioner, yearly maintenance, or a new install, you can be assured that we will solve your problem quickly and efficiently. Your home's air conditioning system is far more than just temperature. It's a complete comfort system that combines temperature, humidity, air quality, and above all, safety. Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning in Titusville. Titusville Market Square is home to over 100 unique vendors featuring antiques, collectibles, candles, coins, baked goods, dairy products, food items, comic books, toys, and so much more. You'll discover something new every time you walk through the door. Did we mention the selection of baked goods, breads, Clark's Donuts, and Amish pies? Titusville Market Square has you covered. Stop in to explore today. Titusville Market Square in downtown Titusville.
Our new home.
Somebody pinched me.
Somebody say pinch?
Pinch,
pinch.
We mean we just bought this.
Yeah, we just bought a new house. Why are there crabs?
Don't call for pinches. Call for protection.
Hit it.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Your State Farm agent is ready to help you choose the right coverage for your new house and your car.
All right, which way to the sea? We're in Ohio.
So is that close, or?
No.
You got a pool?
No.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I'm Ronnie Long.
And I'm Lisa Mellon.
The name Armstrong reflects more than just a company. It's a promise.
While others focus on the short term, we're building for a future that's limitless.
From the dawn of cable television to the rise of the digital age, we've delivered cutting-edge technology like our advanced fiber network that redefines what's possible.
Guided by our core values, we have proudly served and strengthened communities like yours for generations.
Fat Chad's is Titusville's premier dining destination. Come hungry and enjoy these menu favorites: T-bone steak, homemade meatloaf dinner, or soft shell crab tacos. Dive into fresh pasta entrees like shrimp and scallop pasta or our signature Asiago chicken. And don't miss our famous burgers and fish sandwiches, all served with fresh cut fries. Fridays mean prime rib specials. Enjoy wild game Saturdays. And on Sundays, it's our all-you-can-eat wing buffet. For good food and good times, it's Fat Chad's Brewing in Titusville.
211 is an easy-to-remember telephone number for finding health and human services for everyday needs and in crisis situations. Every day, highly trained 211 call specialists provide referrals to basic human needs resources like food banks and shelters, physical and mental health, employment support, support for youth and child care programs, and support for adults and persons with disabilities. To learn more, dial 211 or visit pa211nw.org.
U.S. stocks closed mixed, with the Dow adding nearly 0.5%, the S&P 500 flat, and the Nasdaq dipping marginally. Third quarter earnings season has shifted into overdrive, with corporate giants such as General Motors, GE Aerospace, 3M, and Coca-Cola posting generally upbeat results. But with major U.S. stock indexes hovering near record highs and valuations stretched, upbeat results alone could prove insufficient to sustain investor risk appetite, says Richard Mullen, CEO and founder of Palace Capital Advisors.
I think that the majority of the returns have been put in for the market this year. I wouldn't expect a further prolific advancement to the upside. I think we could stay status quo or trade sideways, perhaps down a little bit. Earnings, again, is going to drive the markets, but I also think that a lot of the price appreciation has baked in the earnings that we're seeing right now.
Among those that reported results, General Motors lifted its forecast and tempered its anticipated tariff hit, sending shares up nearly 15%. Coca-Cola shares gained more than 4% after solid consumer demand drove its better-than-expected results. Manufacturer 3M advanced more than 7.5% after hiking its full-year forecast, bolstered by its focus on higher-margin products and cost controls. On the flip side, Netflix dropped almost 6% in extended trading after the streaming company missed earnings targets due to an unexpected expense from a dispute with Brazilian tax authorities.
From a major outage for Amazon's cloud unit to Apple's new record, this is Tech Weekly. Amazon's cloud services unit AWS was hit by a major global outage. It knocked out thousands of websites, disrupting businesses and some of the world's most popular apps, including Snapchat and Reddit. The issue marked the largest internet disruption since last year's CrowdStrike malfunction. Roblox, Coinbase and Robinhood were among some of the other big names affected. Apple became just the third company ever to hit a $4 trillion valuation. Shares surged after data firm Counterpoint showed sales of the new iPhone 17 series performing strongly. Investors were pleased to hear the newer models were outselling the previous iPhone 16 series by 14% during the first 10 days of availability in the US and China. European aerospace firms could be closing in on a major satellite deal to take on US giants. Sources said Leonardo, Airbus and Thales have reached a framework agreement on a proposed merger of their satellite businesses. They have reportedly been in talks for more than a year to create a new manufacturing company, codenamed Project Bromo. It would compete with rivals led by Elon Musk's SpaceX, which owns the successful Starlink. And Alphabet's robo-taxi unit Waymo showcased its self-driving Jaguar taxi at an event in New York City. It was to highlight a partnership with the city's Bronx Community College to develop and enhance an autonomous vehicle training program. Waymo and Jaguar Land Rover teamed up in 2018 to design and engineer the all-electric car.
All right, let's take a look at that weather forecast for northwest Pennsylvania on this Wednesday morning. We are looking at cloudy conditions, showers this afternoon, and temperatures today in the upper 40s. Rain likely tonight with lows down in the low 40s. Thursday, rain, mid-40s. Friday morning, rain showers with temperatures in the mid to upper 40s. Saturday, cloudy, low 50s. Sunday, partly cloudy with temperatures in the mid-50s. That is a look at your weather forecast at 7:13. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Spooky time of the year. Although it feels like it's getting crowded out now with, well, it's really not Thanksgiving. It's Christmas.
Yeah.
Like there is no Thanksgiving. It's Halloween and Christmas. But saw the second Christmas commercial last night.
Did you?
But it was for pets.
I don't remember it.
Oh, yeah.
Did I watch it?
I don't know.
Probably not.
You were there. But were you there?
Mm-mm.
So yeah, no, it was a pet commercial.
Oh, cool.
About getting your pets. I don't even remember. I don't know if it was for food or something for the holidays. But yeah, it was a reminder to get things maybe ordered now for your pets for this holiday season. So, and I see we were flipping through. I don't remember what we were watching last. Oh, I do. We were watching the 31 Days of Halloween, I think, and Addams Family was on.
Oh, yeah.
And there was I don't know if we were flipping through to get to that or to find something, or if it was a promo that ran on that. I don't know. I don't think it was. I think we were flipping through. Anyways, the Hallmark Channel, they've been doing their Christmas. They've been sliding Christmas. I guess it's smart. Like, if you're not into Halloween, and you're ready for Christmas, they're kind of getting a jump on things by starting Christmas movies. Although I think this year they've been running them year-round. But anyways, and they may have been doing this for a couple years, but there's a reality show on Hallmark Channel. And I can't remember the name of it. It's something like Finding Mr. Christmas.
That's
so
weird.
It's... Yeah, they're going to find their next actor for their Christmas movies, apparently. So,
all right.
So look out for that.
But we're here. It's Halloween next week. So I have some Halloween fun facts for you.
You do?
I do, yes.
Oh.
Yes, I worked
You did
very
some
hard.
homework?
I did, and thanks to the good people at Good Housekeeping. You know, all these like publications
Housekeeping?
that have disappeared over the years.
Uh-huh.
I'm really surprised Good Housekeeping has hung around. Like that, because that seems like an old-timey type of publication.
Sure.
Like Reader's Digest.
Yeah.
Or the Farmer's Almanac.
Yeah.
But they're still here. I think Reader's Digest, is that still around?
I have no idea.
I used to pick my grandmother's Reader's Digest up and read the jokes. They would have a joke section.
That explains so much.
I know.
So much.
Once in a while, there'd be a good one.
If you say so.
It kind of reminded me of like a highlights for children for adults. Did you ever get those?
Mm-hmm.
Well, did you as a kid ever get a like that was the coolest thing? I think my parents, my mom knew that, like how cool and exciting it is, you know, to get a piece of mail with your name on it.
Oh yeah,
something for you.
Definitely.
What did you?
No, I liked highlights, and your mom carried that on with our kids.
So I would get Sports Illustrated for kids, which was cool. I'm not sure. There may have been a small period of time where I was getting Mad Magazine, but I think I was getting it at the store.
But not.
I'm not sure if I had it delivered. Yeah. So those were the big ones, I think, for me. Sports Illustrated for kids, highlights for children, Mad Magazine.
There you go.
So what did you get any? You got highlights?
When I was little, younger, yeah. And then I think at the store for a girl, it was like, was it 17 or Teen Magazine or whatever? Those.
You were into that?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just asking. Well, you say for a girl, but you're not a normal girl.
I'm not a normal girl.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm definitely not.
But you gravitated towards some of those teen publications.
Yeah. Yeah.
You wanted to see if Jonathan Taylor Thomas had a girlfriend?
No, John Bon Jovi.
Was he in the teen magazines? Because that would be a little weird.
No, there was like some magazines. I don't know if they were the teen magazines that had like, I don't even remember what they would have been like that had the musicians and stuff in it. Not, you know. Sorry, Jonathan Taylor Thomas. That was never
I don't
even
know.
a thing.
Who's the other one? I don't know.
I have no idea.
But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. I think that's funny, like, as an adult, to go back and, like, watch these shows that, you know, these people are your age now, but you're seeing them as a kid. Sometimes it's like, ooh, life's rough.
I saw, it was some Comic-Con, like last week, and there's a movie we just watched for this time of year, and they all brought them together, most of them, and the one guy looked just horrendous, and somebody had posted like, well, I wonder what happened to him. Like, I don't know if he got into drugs or had, you know, health battles, but he did not look good at all. He was one of the young kids.
What do you?
I'll show you
You'll
some.
have to show me because
I
I'm
will.
complete. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, it's one of those movies like not a lot of people. Well, I'd be surprised if people said, "Oh yeah."
Did we just talk about bringing them to a local Comic-Con?
Oh yeah.
We had this.
Yeah. Like everybody looks great except for one of the kids. It was a Goonies type movie. But Halloween related and the Monster Squad.
Yeah, we're the Monster Squad.
But anyways, same sort of thing. All right, so anyways, thanks to Good Housekeeping, here's some fun Halloween tips.
Okay.
Or facts. Okay. So here's some facts.
Facts.
Nearly 1/4 of Americans say Halloween is their favorite holiday.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see. According to a 2021 poll, 23% of Americans say Halloween is their favorite holiday. More women than men say this, 26% versus 19%. Fact number 2. A pumpkin is actually a fruit, not a vegetable. While most people might guess that those orange gourds are vegetables, pumpkins are actually considered fruit. It's technically fruit because anything that starts from a single flower, as a pumpkin does, is classified as a simple fruit. Okay. The record for the world's heaviest pumpkin is over 2,000 pounds. Where did we see one recently? We drove past, and didn't you point out a really
it was
giant...
it was on the road in somebody's farm. It was huge.
Yeah, it was.
I felt bad because it's like right by the road, and in my head, somebody's going to be a jerk and destroy it for them.
Well, years ago, I think my dad was like fascinated with trying to grow big giant pumpkins. He
did.
He grew one. It was huge.
Yeah.
Not close to 2,000 pounds, but
no,
it was pretty heavy.
But it was big.
Let's see. The record for most pumpkins smashed in 1 minute is 52. Okay. This is actually a Guinness World Record.
I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, it's 52 pumpkins smashed in 1 minute.
All right.
A feat that was accomplished separately by 2 different contenders in 2020. 41% of Americans believe that ghosts exist.
Dun, dun, dun.
Most of the canned pumpkin in the world is produced by one company in Illinois. That's funny.
That is funny.
And it's the kind we get every year.
Yeah.
Libby's, right?
Yep.
Most pumpkin recipes like pumpkin soup, pumpkin pie, pumpkin muffins, to name a few, are made using canned pumpkin. And almost all of that canned pumpkin comes from the Libby's pumpkin canning plant in Morton, Illinois. The facility produces over 85% of the world's canned pumpkin.
Holy cow.
That's a lot.
That is.
The next time there will be a full moon on Halloween will be 2039. A full moon on Halloween is a fairly rare occurrence, happening every 18 or 19 years. The last Halloween full moon was in 2020, according to EarthSky. You can expect the next Halloween full moon to happen on October 31st, 2039. In 2025, the moon on Halloween will be a waxing... what do they say here? 70% illuminated, so it'll be in that phase of the until again 2039 when it will be a full moon. Let's see. First Lady Eisenhower decorated the White House for Halloween for the first time. Americans spend a ton of money on Halloween costumes for their pets. Did you know this? We love Halloween costumes for pets, and apparently we're not alone. According to the National Retail Federation, Americans spent about $700 million on pet costumes last year.
Okay.
That's a lot. What was yours? We were talking about this the other day.
What do you mean?
You ripped up a shirt for our pet, and he was a werewolf.
He was. It was, well, our kids were the characters of the Monster Squad. And we didn't have a werewolf, so he was a werewolf.
Yeah, it's funny. Most parents admit to stealing some of their children's Halloween candy.
Only the Butterfingers. You steal Snickers and Reese's.
Steal? That's harsh.
You put them in the freezer. I got to a point where I would just buy you your own bags.
Right.
Like a bag of Snickers, a bag of Reese's.
I do remember. It's like, hey, guys... are you going to eat that one? Well, yeah. Okay.
Dad goes for the best. Like, you go for what they like. So you get your own candy.
I go for what they like. No, that makes it sound like...
Well, no, I mean, like, you guys have similar... Yeah. You're not like, oh, you like that? I'm going to eat it.
Even though I don't like it. That's what it sounded like.
That's not what I'm saying.
That's what it sounded like.
It's not what I'm saying.
Okay. We have the
similar interests.
Yes.
Now everybody can see what I go through. There are 4 of you in my life.
If you want to keep spooky spirits away, salt should do the trick. So, they say that. There's more, but we can save these and we'll spread them out over the next several days. How's that
Sounds
sound?
good.
All right, some fun Halloween facts for you here this morning. All right, we're going to get to birthdays and what we're celebrating here this morning. We'll start with birthdays. Today is the 22nd day of October. Who's celebrating a birthday today?
All right. So actor Christopher Lloyd is 87.
Really?
Yeah.
We just watched him in Addams Family.
Right.
And yesterday was, we had that Back to the Future reference.
Oh, yeah. 10/21. Actor Jeff Goldblum is 73. Actor Bob Odenkirk is 63. Rapper Shaggy is 57. Actor Jesse Tyler Ferguson is 50. Actor Corey Hawkins is 37. And that is all.
Happy birthday to all those folks. Happy birthday to you if today happens to be your birthday from all of us here this morning. All right, what are we celebrating here today?
All right, it is Geelong Cup Day, International Caps Locks Day, International Stuttering Awareness Day, Lung Health Day, Medical Assistant Day, National Color Day, National Christopher Najee Roebuck Day, National Make a Dogs Day, National Nut Day, Scar Appreciation Day, Smart is Cool Day, and that's all. That's pretty much it.
Stuttering Day. Years and years and years ago, I don't get on stage a whole lot, but a good friend of ours was directing a show. He was directing
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And I got to play the stuttering Billy Bibbit.
You did. And you did very well.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was a really good time.
It was fun. You guys did great. It was awesome.
Maybe we had a little too much fun.
Maybe. But it was good to watch.
Okay.
It made for a good show.
Yeah. Well, that was a long time ago.
That was such a long. I was pregnant with Nolan.
It was that long ago. Holy cow. That was like 20 years ago.
Yep.
Well, more than 20 years ago. All right. We have the latest news headlines heading your way in just a few moments. We'll get you caught up with all the things happening in the world.
All the fun stuff.
All the fun stuff. Also, what's going on Wall Street, some business headlines, a lot going on there as well. Overall on Wall Street, and then we'll get into some specific companies and see how their stocks are performing. So we'll have those headlines for you. Also, let you know what's going on with the weather. A lot of rain this week. Rained again last night, and I know we're in the playoff season, and one of the boys' soccer games.
Girls.
No.
Oh, boys.
Last night got rained out. They had to stop it, and it'll resume later today. I think I want to say Girard Cathedral Prep.
We had one of those a long time ago. I think it was Meadville versus Titusville.
Or they had to come back the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the second half, play the second half the next day. Because of storm. It was quick.
Yeah, it was. But yes, that's what we're looking at. And so we're covering a girls' playoff game tonight. Girls' soccer, girls' volleyball. Volleyball's inside. Girls' soccer is going to be outside. It's going to be cold and rainy.
So I'm the one who's volunteered for soccer, right?
Yeah.
I got this.
Yeah.
I unearthed my coat, my gloves. We're good.
I have to find mine. All right. Your headlines are coming up next.
The morning drill, the morning drill, the morning drill, the morning
drill. Nice to be with you.
A planned summit between U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin was put on hold on Tuesday. That pause comes after Moscow's rejection of an immediate ceasefire in Ukraine cast a cloud over attempts at negotiations. A senior White House official told Reuters that, quote, there are no plans for President Trump to meet with President Putin in the immediate future.
You spoke about meeting in Hungary with him. Do you have a timeline or a date set for when?
I would say within 2 weeks or so. Pretty quick.
Trump had announced last week that he and Putin would meet soon in Hungary to try and bring an end to the war in Ukraine.
President Trump, sir, do you believe you can convince Vladimir Putin to end the war in Ukraine?
He met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Friday and afterward endorsed Kiev's demand for an immediate ceasefire based on the current battle lines. Moscow has long demanded Kiev agree to cede more territory before any ceasefire. Reuters and other news organizations reported that Trump's meeting with Zelensky behind closed doors was contentious, with the U.S. president repeatedly using profanity and pushing Zelensky to accept some Russian demands. But Zelensky has painted the meeting as a success because it ended with Trump publicly backing a ceasefire at the present lines.
And we had a very good meeting, very cordial meeting. In my opinion, they should stop the war immediately. You go by the battle line wherever it is, otherwise it's too complicated. You'll never be able to figure it out.
Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov on Tuesday said pausing fighting on the current front line would mean, quote, forgetting about the root causes of the conflict. He said Russia had not changed its position since Trump and Putin met in Alaska in August, a meeting that failed to advance negotiations.
Vehicle shopping? Make sure you check out Titusville Ford first. Shop our amazing selection of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock. Visit us on Route 8 in Titusville and see why our customer service is a cut above the rest. Titusville Ford, your hometown dealer.
Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding is located at 305 East Spring Street in Titusville. Marsh Home Center welcomes you in to explore their growing inventory of name brand furniture, appliances, and bedding. Need something not currently in stock? No problem. Order from Marsh's online catalog and have it delivered right to your door. Visit Marsh's to see their entire showroom, ask questions, see what items are on sale, or just stop in and say hi. Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding, behind Giant Eagle in Titusville.
Did you hear?
Todd's in the hospital.
Who's Todd? He got a collapsed lung from vaping. He thought it was cool.
Not cool.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. It can lead to a lifelong addiction, and we can't be friends if your lungs collapse.
Bogus.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Whether you want to go and lead in your craft in the trades, whether you want to go and be that nurse or medical worker and have a real impact on lives, or whether you want to go and help that business improve its bottom line, this is the place, and now is your time to go with confidence, to go with skill, to go succeed. The Education and Training Center at Pitt Titusville.
I needed a place I could feel cared for without the long drive. I chose Meadville OBGYN because both my sisters came here, highly recommended Dr. Kristen. Dr. Kristen makes me feel very comfortable. Like I'm family, like we're friends, very personable. My daughter Evie was born breech, and it was Dr. Kristen and Dr. Barco, and they were incredible. It was a wonderful experience. I wouldn't ever want to go anywhere else.
Community Connect Federal Credit Union, serving Crawford, Venango, Forest, and Warren counties. Their mission is to provide quality, low-cost, and personal financial products for the growth and security of their members and families. Stop in, call, or visit our website, communityconnectfcu.com, and click Join to get started. Community Connect Federal Credit Union, 1050 East Spring Street in Titusville.
I'm Ben Leach, Republican nominee for Magisterial District Judge, reminding you to get out and vote Tuesday, November 4th. As the only candidate with over 13 years of real courtroom experience and a dedicated career in the justice system, I've consistently demonstrated the ability to remain fair and impartial. As I continue my lifelong dedication to serving our community, I strive to be the kind of leader our citizens deserve. On November 4th, vote with confidence for a candidate who is qualified day one, bringing the experience needed to serve as your next Magisterial District Judge.
This month, get up to $3 grand more for your trade at Community Chevy's Flip or Treat sales event. Is your old ride's condition scary? And you're tired of the same online tricks? At Community, get up to $3 grand more when you flip your old ride for a nicer, newer one. And if another dealer offers more for your trade, we'll treat you to a free $50 gas card. Either way, you can save over 11 grand off best-selling trucks like the new Silverado. The Flip or Treat sales event this month only at Community Chevy.
I think that the majority of the returns have been put in for the market this year. I wouldn't expect a further prolific advancement to the upside. I think we could stay status quo or trade sideways, perhaps down a little bit. I think we're seeing some economic data supportive of future rate cuts. Those rate cuts could be supportive of valuations, but I think we've already anticipated those rate cuts, and many of the appreciation, and certainly the Mag 7 has anticipated that. Earnings, again, is going to drive the markets, but I also think that a lot of the price appreciation has baked in the earnings that we're seeing right now. I think what we're seeing right now is some of the more cyclical value names kind of paying attention to the direction of Fed rates. So, that's where I, point to 3M today and GM, as well as some of the transports. We saw some nice earnings from trucking companies, positive guidance. Guidance across the board in the industrial sector has been positive. So I think that will continue. I'm not so sure we're going to see, a further advancement or any significant advancement from the Mag 7. And I think the gold trade's gotten a little bit ahead of itself. I look back historically as to, why gold may be reacting the way it is right now. I think 79.80 and 2010, 2011 were two indications or two similar periods of time where gold doubled, and then over the ensuing couple of years, it declined over 50%. Both of those were periods of times that were, completely analogous to what we're seeing right now, which is kind of the debasement trade, where, the printing of money and the deficits have certainly played a big role in the advancement of the gold geopolitical uncertainty. So I think really what we're seeing right now is that trade just kind of retrenching itself. I'm not sure it's over, but I do think it will play out in a similar fashion as those two.
U.S. stocks closed mixed, with the Dow adding nearly 0.5%, the S&P 500 flat, and the Nasdaq dipping marginally. Third quarter earnings season has shifted into overdrive, with corporate giants such as General Motors, GE Aerospace, 3M, and Coca-Cola posting generally upbeat results. But with major U.S. stock indexes hovering near record highs and valuations stretched, upbeat results alone could prove insufficient to sustain investor risk appetite, says Richard Mullen, CEO and founder of Palace Capital Advisors.
I think that the majority of the returns have been put in for the market this year. I wouldn't expect a further prolific advancement to the upside. I think we could stay status quo or trade sideways, perhaps down a little bit. Earnings, again, is going to drive the markets, but I also think that a lot of the price appreciation has baked in the earnings that we're seeing right now.
Among those that reported results, General Motors lifted its forecast and tempered its anticipated tariff hit, sending shares up nearly 15%. Coca-Cola shares gained more than 4% after solid consumer demand drove its better-than-expected results. Manufacturer 3M advanced more than 7.5% after hiking its full-year forecast, bolstered by its focus on higher-margin products and cost controls. On the flip side, Netflix dropped almost 6% in extended trading after the streaming company missed earnings targets due to an unexpected expense from a dispute with Brazilian tax authorities.
Shares of General Motors surged more than 15% Tuesday morning after the company raised its profit outlook, putting them on track for their biggest single-day jump in 6 years. The automaker says the impact of U.S. President Donald Trump's tariffs on its business has been less than expected. GM also said it is experiencing lighter losses on electric cars as it unwinds massive bets it made on the technology. CEO Mary Barra told investors in a letter that, quote, "It is now clear that near-term electric vehicle adoption will be lower than planned," citing changing regulations. By acting swiftly and decisively to address overcapacity, we expect to reduce EV losses in 2026 and beyond. Though she added the vehicles remain its North Star. GM's quarterly adjusted earnings per share fell but topped expectations. Revenue marginally declined from a year earlier. Still, GM's results could be hampered by supply chain disruptions, additional EV charges, and increased warranty costs. U.S. car sales have stayed strong despite uncertainty around tariffs, rising 6% in the third quarter. While automakers have largely avoided raising sticker prices to offset their tariff costs, American car shoppers have continued to opt for pricier models and added features. Automakers have also been ramping up U.S. investments to help deal with Trump's tariffs. GM announced in June that it would invest $4 billion at 3 U.S. facilities in Michigan, Kansas, and Tennessee. The automaker has previously imported about half of the vehicles it sells in the U.S., mainly from Mexico and South Korea.
Netflix missed Wall Street's third quarter earnings targets due to an unexpected expense from a Brazilian tax dispute. Failing to impress investors used to fast-paced growth, shares tumbled by 5.6% in after-hours trading on Tuesday. Netflix posted net income of $2.5 billion for July through September, but analysts had expected $3 billion according to LSEG. Netflix reported an operating margin of 28% for the third quarter. Without the Brazilian tax expense of roughly $690 million, the margin would have exceeded the company's guidance of 31.5%. Despite the blip due to an unforeseen expense, analysts said it was a robust quarter for Netflix. Netflix expects $11.96 billion in fourth quarter revenue, slightly above Wall Street's forecast, as it rolls out the final season of Stranger Things and streams 2 live NFL games at Christmas. With 300 million users worldwide, Netflix is branching into ads and video games, though analysts say those moves haven't boosted revenue much yet. Netflix was reported by CNBC to be among the interested parties in a potential sale of Warner Bros. Discovery assets. Co-CEO Ted Sarandos told analysts the company can and will be choosy about acquisition targets.
Well, let's take a quick look at that weather forecast for northwest Pennsylvania. Cloudy this morning. Showers this afternoon with temperatures in the upper 40s. Rain likely tonight, lows in the low 40s. Thursday, rain, mid-40s. Friday, morning rain showers, upper 40s. Saturday, cloudy, low 50s. Sunday, partly cloudy, mid-50s. Just sneak peek into the first part of next week. Monday, partly cloudy with temperatures in the mid-50s. That is a look at your weather forecast at 7:46. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Well, happy Wednesday, middle of the week. Glad you're with us here this morning. A lot going on, right here at home, but around the world. And last week, we were mentioning that you had the opportunity to be part of the what's become a nice tradition in the fall, the Drake Energy Conference, and kind of renamed this year to the Drake Dialogue Series. And it's fascinating. And for those not familiar with our region, it's rich with a lot of history, but especially oil history with Drake Well. And this is a conference that brings folks up from Washington, D.C. to have energy conversations. Totally fascinating. I mentioned last week that we would bring you clips of some of the speakers and things we got to experience. This particular clip features Mike Summers, who's the president and CEO of the American Petroleum Institute, API. Mike Summers, president and CEO of the American Petroleum Institute. He was here at Drake Well and gave a very cool presentation. Now, here's only a snippet of that presentation, and he's being introduced by the gentleman who created this whole event, Andrew Tabler from Oil City. Andrew Tabler is president and co-founder of Drake Energy Security Forum. So here's Andrew introducing Mike Summers of API.
We're kind of rapidly going through we're running a little bit late, so I'm going to get things going with the keynote. And so just to talk to you a little bit about API's relationship with this site, back in 1934 for the Diamond Jubilee, as it was known, and 75th anniversary of oil, API worked with the local chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution and other individuals here who had an existing museum to make this modern site, purchasing this property, building the dike outside, and an earlier version of the museum, which is in back of me. And then handed it over to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania's Historical Museum Commission. And then, of course, more things here were built over time. That then went on, and it developed here until 1963 when the modern museum was built. And then in 2009, I believe, was it 2009? Yes. The front glass here was added that brings the replica into this room. As far as I know, this room has never been used in this way for such a meeting, and we're hoping going forward, I mean, there should be committee meetings here by state and federal officials, in my opinion, but not only. We could have everything here. We could either debate oil and energy to having a celebration of those getting married or whatever it takes. Work with the folks at Drake Well, and I'm sure that you'll enjoy it. The last time that we had API up here in force, before Mike's visit, of course, we had Stephanie Wisman last year, who was up here. I'm sure many of you got a chance to meet her. But I think the full delegation was here in 1959 for the 100th anniversary of oil. And you will find that image over outside here, the Energy for America poster, which is every year. It's on your bags, your conference bags. It's printed out here. The Friends of Drake Well will be selling that at a little bit later here to their benefit. We provide it to them, and it allows them to generate a little bit of extra revenue. Please visit the gift shop outside. You will not regret it, especially if you're an energy geek like myself, and I'm sure many of you are. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our keynote speaker, Mike Summers, President and CEO of the American Petroleum Institute. Since his appointment in July 2018 as the 15th president, right, of API, he's overseen the strategic realignment of API's priorities and advocacy efforts. Among other initiatives, he led the organization through an unprecedented period in global energy markets, effectively positioning the industry through political transitions in Washington and in state capitals across the country. increased utilization and visibility of API standards and safety programs, and led the adoption of the industry's solutions-oriented effort to address the risks of climate change. Of course, he also spent a long time on Capitol Hill. You can read about his bio online, as well as a stint in the White House. And having done that myself, he seems to come out of it better, not worse. And it's very, very hard work. We're very, very happy that he's here with us today. And I'm very, very excited about his speech today, which is entitled "From the First Well to the Next Chapter, Building America's Energy Future." Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Mr. Mike Summers. Yes, you're welcome. Come on up.
Thank you, Andrew. What an honor to be here. As a student of history, I can't believe it took me 8 years as the CEO of API to get to this historic site. Andrew asked me to be here last year, and I wasn't able to get here, but I wanted to make sure that I got here this year, and I can assure you that this is not my last trip to Titusville. I don't know what happened between 1959 and 2025, but I can assure you that this relationship with API and Titusville and the historic Drake Well is not going to end today, and we're excited about the opportunity. So excited to continue the ability to partner with this historic site. So a couple of things at the top here. For those of you who haven't walked through the museum, I would really encourage you to do it during one of the breaks today. It is not what I expected. This is a fully modern museum. I'm sure it is great for school kids to walk through this museum and have the opportunity to really learn the history of the American oil and gas industry. As the president and CEO of the American Petroleum Institute, we've been part of that history for decades and decades. Started really in 1919 as an organization that needed to build standards for an oil industry that didn't have them at the time. This is our primary focus as an organization is as a standards association that started as a couple of standards for the pipeline community and has grown into 800 standards that the American Petroleum Institute maintains worldwide. We have offices in Beijing and Dubai and Rio that sell those standards and certifications into the international marketplace. So we're fully an international organization. As the industry has grown, the American Petroleum Institute has grown. But before I get to the true theme of my speech, I wanted to give you a little bit more history. One of the local natives here, of course, is Ida Tarbell. You can learn all about Ida in the museum behind me. Of course, Ida was the one who wrote the seminal book on the Standard Oil Company and led to its ultimate breakup. In 1904, it was Ida Tarbell's work that led to the breakup of the Standard Oil Company. What you may not know about Ida is that she wasn't just a famous muckraker, as Teddy Roosevelt called her, but she also was a historian. She wrote a lot of different biographies, including one of Abraham Lincoln in 1924. So in 1924, she wrote a book called In Lincoln's Footsteps, where she traced the path of Abraham Lincoln from his boyhood in Kentucky and Indiana, and then 25 years in the state of Illinois. I happened to grow up in the state of Illinois, and I remember as a kid, there were signs all over central Illinois for what was called the Lincoln Heritage Trail. And this was a trail that actually traced Ida Tarbell's steps when she wrote that biography. So the history between my youth and someone who grew up in a state, the land of Lincoln, where we didn't get President's Day off, we got Lincoln's birthday off. And our 8th grade trip wasn't to Washington, D.C., it was to Springfield, Illinois. When I was a kid in 5th grade, I memorized the Gettysburg Address. That was an assignment at my local parochial elementary school. So Lincoln was inculcated in my life my entire youth. And that Lincoln Heritage Trail, I remember, going to Springfield and following the steps of Lincoln. So I recently picked up a book that someone recommended to me. It's called The Land of Lincoln by an author by the name of Andrew Ferguson, written in the early 2000s. And I'd encourage you to pick it up. Similar to me, he grew up in the state of Illinois and was inculcated with this Lincoln legacy. But I come to the 5th chapter where it starts talking about that Lincoln Heritage Trail, and this is what I learned. Andrew Ferguson went and met with the old state historian in the state of Illinois, and he asked him, where did the Lincoln Heritage Trail come from? And he said, well, I didn't come up with it. In the early 1960s, the marketing guys from the American Petroleum Institute showed up. And they said, we want to create this trail because if we promote more tourism, we're going to have more people buying gasoline. So it wasn't just the Drake Well that API came in and helped preserve, but it was also Lincoln's legacy. So here we are today at the historic Drake Well, the incredible history that we have here with API participating in the restoration of this project in 1934 and the early 1960s, API retracing Lincoln's steps to here we are today in a time of historic international change, where we're dealing with historic energy transitions. And today, we're celebrating what it's going to take for the United States to go from the true energy superpower that we are to taking it to the next level of energy leadership. We know the position that we are in today, where we have rising energy demand. In fact, in the United States, we expect energy demand to go up by 40% just in the next 15 years. And the real question that I think policymakers, and we have some of them here today, are going to have to answer is, where is that energy going to come from? Because we know that demand is going to go up. And by the way, we knew it was going to go up even before the dawn of artificial intelligence and more data centers. We knew that. Policymakers knew that. Why? Because more people are going into the middle class. They're using more air conditioning. And yeah, they're plugging more things into the grid. And that means we're going to need more energy sources going forward. But primarily, we're going to need a lot more natural gas. And that's where Pennsylvania comes in. This was the state that led the energy revolution from the beginning. This was the place that started the oil revolution in 1859. And then that revolution has continued. You've led the way for decades and decades to build energy sources of the future. This was the state that pioneered the fracking revolution. This was the state that was at the forefront of the coal revolution, the nuclear revolution. And I know that that history is going to continue today. As Senator McCormick said, we have the 4th largest natural gas reserves in the world right here under our feet. And natural gas is going to play such a key role going forward. I was honored earlier this year to be back in the Commonwealth, where I had the opportunity to speak to Senator McCormick's AI and Energy Summit that he held at Carnegie Mellon University.
So Mike Summers from the American Petroleum Institute, he's president and CEO, and there's a lot more that took place and a lot more of this presentation. Again, keynote speaker at last week's Energy Summit. So, yeah, we'll be presenting more of this over the upcoming weeks. Thank you for being with us here on this Wednesday morning. Great local programming continues on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Our 3rd hour continues online.
Nice to be with you.
A planned summit between U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin was put on hold on Tuesday. That pause comes after Moscow's rejection of an immediate ceasefire in Ukraine cast a cloud over attempts at negotiations. A senior White House official told Reuters that, quote, there are no plans for President Trump to meet with President Putin in the immediate future.
You spoke about meeting in Hungary with him. Do you have a timeline or a date set for when?
I would say within 2 weeks or so. Pretty quick.
Trump had announced last week that he and Putin would meet soon in Hungary to try and bring an end to the war in Ukraine.
President Trump, sir, do you believe you can convince Vladimir Putin to end the war in Ukraine?
He met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Friday and afterward endorsed Kiev's demand for an immediate ceasefire based on the current battle lines. Moscow has long demanded Kiev agree to cede more territory before any ceasefire. Reuters and other news organizations reported that Trump's meeting with Zelensky behind closed doors was contentious, with the U.S. president repeatedly using profanity and pushing Zelensky to accept some Russian demands. But Zelensky has painted the meeting as a success because it ended with Trump publicly backing a ceasefire at the present lines.
We had a very good meeting, very cordial meeting. In my opinion, they should stop the war immediately. You go by the battle line wherever it is, otherwise it's too complicated. You'll never be able to figure it out.
Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov on Tuesday said pausing fighting on the current front line would mean, quote, forgetting about the root causes of the conflict. He said Russia had not changed its position since Trump and Putin met in Alaska in August, a meeting that failed to advance negotiations.
Interstate Pipe and Supply takes pride in providing superior customer service. That's why our dedicated employees are well trained and have the experience to offer friendly, quick, and reliable service and support. Need materials delivered to your job site? No problem. Interstate offers fast delivery from our 4 locations in Western Pennsylvania. We also serve Eastern Ohio, Northern Western Virginia, and Western New York. Service means business at Western Pennsylvania's premier pipe and supply company, Interstate Pipe and Supply.
Anyone with a kind and generous heart and a little money can be a philanthropist. You too can be a force for good in our community, and the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation is here to help you make the most of your charitable giving. We've partnered with hundreds of people like you to make our world and our community a better place. You can give through us to support scholarships or any charitable organization or purpose. Whether you're interested in establishing a permanent endowment or adding to an existing fund, we want to be a part of your plan. Contact us when you're ready to make your mark. Together, we can make your contribution go further.
The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home has been serving the needs of Titusville and surrounding communities since 1965. Mr. Garrett believed in tradition and commitment to excellence, standards that have been passed down from one generation to now a new generation, who will work to provide you with a beautiful, lasting tribute to your loved one. When you need them, they will be there for you. This has been their foundation for almost 60 years. The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home, 303 North Washington Street in Titusville. Share the fun of train travel and relive our country's oil history as you ride the OC&T through the valley that changed the world. Learn about the past while traveling on vintage cars. See a variety of wildlife with stops at Drakewell Park, Petroleum Center, and Oil Creek State Park. Arrive early and see the vast collection of train and railroad memorabilia at Perry Street Station. After the ride, enjoy a night's stay at the Caboose Motel. For seasonal specials or for more information, visit octrr.org or call 814-676-1733. For over 30 years, J. Gill Plumbing and Heating has taken pride in being the premier heating and air conditioning service provider in the area. Our highly skilled and certified technicians will work closely with you to address your heating and air conditioning repair, installation, or maintenance needs. And with the J. Gill Service membership, you can take advantage of additional benefits like filter replacements and priority service scheduling. Plus, members get 10% off future projects. Call today to get a free estimate or ask about financing options. Call J. Gill Plumbing and Heating today or visit them online at jgillplumbingheating.com. Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding is located at 305 East Spring Street in Titusville. Marsh Home Center welcomes you in to explore their growing inventory of name brand furniture, appliances, and bedding. Need something not currently in stock? No problem. Order from Marsh's online catalog and have it delivered right to your door. Visit Marsh's to see their entire showroom. Ask questions, see what items are on sale, or just stop in and say hi. Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding, behind Giant Eagle in Titusville.
211 is a simple telephone number to remember when you don't know where to go for help. Dial 211 when needing to find health and human services for everyday needs and in crisis situations. It's free and confidential, and you'll have access to thousands of programs and services for emergency and non-emergency situations. Visit pa211nw.org to learn more, and remember, help is available by calling 211.
Are you tired of juggling multiple pill bottles? Titusville Express Pharmacy has your solution, now offering compliance packaging. Your medication sorted and sealed by dose, making it easier than ever to stay on track. In a hurry? Take advantage of our convenient drive-through service. We also offer free local delivery for those that qualify. Titusville Express Pharmacy, where convenience meets care. Visit us today at 401 West Spring Street in Titusville. Simplify your medication routine with Titusville Express Pharmacy.
U.S. stocks closed mixed, with the Dow adding nearly 0.5%, the S&P 500 flat, and the Nasdaq dipping marginally. Third quarter earnings season has shifted into overdrive, with corporate giants such as General Motors, GE Aerospace, 3M, and Coca-Cola posting generally upbeat results. But with major U.S. stock indexes hovering near record highs and valuations stretched, upbeat results alone could prove insufficient to sustain investor risk appetite, says Richard Mullen, CEO and founder of Palace Capital Advisors.
I think that the majority of the returns have been put in for the market this year. I wouldn't expect a further prolific advancement to the upside. I think we could stay status quo or trade sideways, perhaps down a little bit. Earnings, again, is going to drive the markets, but I also think that a lot of the price appreciation has baked in the earnings that we're seeing right now.
Among those that reported results, General Motors lifted its forecast and tempered its anticipated tariff hit, sending shares up nearly 15%. Coca-Cola shares gained more than 4% after solid consumer demand drove its better-than-expected results. Manufacturer 3M advanced more than 7.5% after hiking its full-year forecast, bolstered by its focus on higher-margin products and cost controls. On the flip side, Netflix dropped almost 6% in extended trading after the streaming company missed earnings targets due to an unexpected expense from a dispute with Brazilian tax authorities.
I think that the majority of the returns have been put in for the market this year. I wouldn't expect a further prolific advancement to the upside. I think we could stay status quo or trade sideways, perhaps down a little bit. I think we're seeing some economic data supportive of future rate cuts. Those rate cuts could be supportive of valuations, but I think we've already anticipated those rate cuts, and many of the appreciation, and certainly the Mag 7 has anticipated that. Earnings, again, is going to drive the markets, but I also think that a lot of the price appreciation has baked in the earnings that we're seeing right now. I think what we're seeing right now is some of the more cyclical value names kind of paying attention to the direction of Fed rates. So, that's where I, point to 3M today and GM, as well as some of the transports. We saw some nice earnings from trucking companies, positive guidance. Guidance across the board in the industrial sector has been positive. So I think that will continue. I'm not so sure we're going to see, a further advancement or any significant advancement from the Mag 7. And I think the gold trade's gotten a little bit ahead of itself. I mean, I look back historically as to, why gold may be reacting the way it is right now. I think 79.80 and 2010, 2011 were two indications or two similar periods of time where gold doubled, and then over the ensuing couple of years, it declined over 50%. Both of those were periods of times that were, completely analogous to what we're seeing right now, which is kind of the debasement trade, where, the printing of money and the deficits have certainly played a big role in the advancement of the gold geopolitical uncertainty. So I think really what we're seeing right now is that trade just kind of retrenching itself. I'm not sure it's over, but I do think it will play out in a similar fashion as those two periods of time.
Shares of General Motors surged more than 15% Tuesday morning after the company raised its profit outlook, putting them on track for their biggest single-day jump in 6 years. The automaker says the impact of U.S. President Donald Trump's tariffs on its business has been less than expected. GM also said it is experiencing lighter losses on electric cars as it unwinds massive bets it made on the technology. CEO Mary Barra told investors in a letter that, quote, "It is now clear that near-term electric vehicle adoption will be lower than planned," citing changing regulations. By acting swiftly and decisively to address overcapacity, we expect to reduce EV losses in 2026 and beyond. Though she added the vehicles remain its North Star. GM's quarterly adjusted earnings per share fell but topped expectations. Revenue marginally declined from a year earlier. Still, GM's results could be hampered by supply chain disruptions, additional EV charges, and increased warranty costs. U.S. car sales have stayed strong despite uncertainty around tariffs, rising 6% in the third quarter. While automakers have largely avoided raising sticker prices to offset their tariff costs, American car shoppers have continued to opt for pricier models and added features. Automakers have also been ramping up U.S. investments to help deal with Trump's tariffs. GM announced in June that it would invest $4 billion at 3 U.S. facilities in Michigan, Kansas, and Tennessee. The automaker has previously imported about half of the vehicles it sells in the U.S., mainly from Mexico and South Korea.
Unilever delayed the demerger of its Magnum ice cream unit on Tuesday, and the consumer goods giant blamed the ongoing U.S. government shutdown. It's an early case of business disruption from the fallout in Washington, which shows no signs of ending. Unilever said the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission was currently unable to declare effective a key registration statement. It's needed for shares of the Magnum ice cream company to be listed and traded on the New York Stock Exchange. Unilever's ice cream business includes major brands like Ben & Jerry's and Cornetto. The group said preparation work for the demerger was still on track and progressing well. It also said it was committed to completing the spin-off process this year. The firm added further updates on the revised schedule will be provided as soon as possible. The US market regulator has stopped IPO reviews during the shutdown. Companies are normally prevented from debuting on Wall Street during periods when Congress hasn't approved funding for government operations. That's because officials can't review and approve registration statements. The current near 3-week shutdown has investors concerned it could hurt the IPO market, while the US government has said it may cost the economy as much as $15 billion a week in lost output.
Joining us this morning is the Executive Director of the Meadville Area Chamber of Commerce. It's Christa Lundy. Hi, Christa. How are you?
Good morning, Luke. I am well, and I am at the Crawford Tech for a meeting at 8 o'clock and a meeting at 9 o'clock, and then I'm going to be at the Country Club by 10:30 for a sponsor and speaker luncheon, and then the vendors are going to be rolling in for our Women's Expo today. So it is a day. Sorry, I couldn't make it over.
No, it's a busy day. It's going to be a great day, and it happens to be Support Your Local Chamber of Commerce Day today.
It is. It is. That might be a little bit in my speech this evening when I'm welcoming everybody in. It is. So, gotta love that. And I mean, I love what I do. All my friends that are in this business, we love what we do. We get to support our communities, promote our members, be resources, be connectors, help with, education and community, and I just love what I do.
Awesome. Well, let's get to the event tonight, and probably a reminder that the chamber office is closed after 10 this morning?
That's correct.
Okay.
That is, we close because we head out to the Country Club to get all set up for that. But we are still accepting, if your plans changed and you didn't make a reservation, there is still room. I always account for a few more people just showing up at the event. So we will be at the Country Club tonight from 4 to 8 p.m. It's business women supporting each other. We have about 150 women as of yesterday attending. We have two great speakers, Kathleen Layer from Kathleen Layer Coaching, talking about beyond body image, becoming and loving the best version of you. And then Bonnie Kuhn, Vice President of Kuhn Tool and Die, and the first woman chair of the National Tooling and Machining Association. So we have two really great speakers, but also we have 30-plus vendors that will be there. Some of them will be selling things. Some of them will just have gift baskets on their table that you can win. Some people, will be just talking about their business. Some are new businesses that wanted to come and attend and make connections and meet people. Some have been in business for a long time and just wanted to have a presence there and support the event. So really excited about that. We have Allegheny College, and we have Excelic and Kinetic by Windstream, Meadville Medical Center, a lot of people being our major sponsors of the event. Armstrong is one of the big sponsors as well. Our dessert sponsor is Finished Chocolate Shop, so there'll be some sweet treats there as well, so looking forward to that. And so, yeah, really looking forward to a fun evening, and then tomorrow I am working on the auction all day, because that is fast approaching, November 12th. And then I am speaking at an aging symposium on Friday at New Beginnings Church all day. And Saturday is it, Luke. I've been talking about it for like 9 months, and that's our Italy trip. So we're taking about 22 of us, and the Venango Chambers, I think, taking 34. So we're going to have a good group. Be sure to watch both of our Facebook pages for all the updates and where we'll be each day.
Oh, that's going to be exciting. Are you packed? Are you have most everything together? Or?
I do. I have things laid out. I got out my sunglasses today and my chargers and stuff like that. So, yeah, mostly packed. Looking forward to a great time, but there's just a lot to do in the meantime, and then a lot to do when I return. We've been really busy. You've seen our social media pages, so we've been really busy, and Julie will continue being busy and working on the auction and the newsletter and things like that while Stephanie and I are gone, because Stephanie and I are both going on the trip.
Well, maybe she can sit back at the office while she's, just doing the marketing and handling everything, and just, eating pizza as a reminder to what you guys are doing. But no, you're also you spent some time in Townville recently.
I did, in my hometown on Saturday. I love, we've been doing a lot of ribbon cuttings and grand openings, anniversary celebrations lately, but I love when I get to do them for friends of mine that are opening a business, especially they invested in our hometown in Townville. I lived across from the Rose Chapel when I was young, so I always admired this church and just was wishing someone would take care of it eventually, and so glad that Charlie and Britt France did that. It's a beautiful new event venue space. Will hold up to about 100 people. It's just an open space, and it has a beautiful restroom, lots of parking. So if you're looking, it doesn't have a kitchen or anything, but it's a really beautiful, historic space. If anyone's interested in having a bridal shower, a baby shower, a birthday party, if you want to have a Friendsgiving or have your family holiday there, not at your home, you can certainly rent and do that. And then, of course, it's beautiful because it's a chapel. They have the podium space where it'd be beautiful for a small wedding. So it was great. And Joe Thompson came and played some incredible music. And, of course, he, from the Titusville Mill, one of my favorite restaurants, brought some amazing food. So it was a really great day on Saturday in Townville at one of our newest members.
Awesome. I know you enjoy getting out and just visiting with folks, and there's a lot of places to go, especially this time of year. There's a lot going on. How important is it, and I know we talk about this a lot, but for businesses to kind of be aware of these things and say, you know what, we have something coming up next year. It's an anniversary or something special. We need to make sure we're ahead of things. We want to make sure we're planning. We want to make sure that if we're reaching out to the chamber to help us, that they're able to have some time for us with a ribbon cutting or an after-hours event. How important is it for them to get a hold of you now, even if they're thinking, well, it's not till later next year or the start of the following year?
Yeah, we would love that for people to get a hold of us in as much advance as possible. So we're planning for 2026 now. I just got 2 more after-hours booked this week. So we do have several openings, but we'd really like to get as many booked as possible, whether it's a ribbon cutting, a grand opening, anniversary celebration, whatever it might be. And then, of course, for the business after-hours, we have one a month. We have an HR meeting once a month, so we're always looking for speakers. And we have our Businesswomen's Roundtable once a month, so we're looking for places to host those, too. So, actually, at the end of the month, we'll be having a ribbon cutting. Speaking of that, we'll be at Shoe Sensation while we are gone in Italy, but I know the board and some of my chamber ambassadors and Julie will do a tremendous job. That will be on Thursday, October 23rd at noon, and they're going to be at their new place in Vernon, up next to TJ Maxx and Chipotle, in front of Vernon Meadville Medical Center.
Nice.
So, looking forward to that. And then, round out the month, we will be at Juniper Village on Monday the 27th for our Businesswomen's Roundtable. And then Haas's the next day on the 28th. And Chad Wagner of Bars Insurance will be our speaker for that, talking about updated insurance. So excited to hear from him and all the changes that are taking place. And we had a really fantastic after hours at Armstrong last week. So big thank you to Armstrong. It was great to see everybody. I mean, normally we see Megan and we see Kevin. They'll be there tonight to record our event, of course. But it was really great. They did a tremendous job. Had a scavenger hunt all around the building, so we got to learn a lot of facts about Armstrong and how it started and what they're doing and where all they're located. We had really great food from Hunter's Inn and desserts from Save Room for Dessert. So we had a really great evening there last week, too.
Oh, that's awesome. You mentioned your board, and actually, let's do this real quick. You're watching the Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Christa Lundy with us here this morning, Executive Director of the Meadville Area Chamber of Commerce. You mentioned having, board members that, when you're away, can step in and do things. I think it's coming up here. Well, the end of the year is coming up. Is this one of those times where you're looking for new board members? And how active is your board?
We are looking for a few new board members. I think we're only losing one that their time is up on the board, but it's actually David Gordon, our president. But he's just going to still be on the board. He's just unable to vote for the next year. But we are looking for new board seats, and we want people that are current with their dues, are active with the chamber already on at least one committee. We want people that just don't want a resume builder, in all honesty. We want people that are already active with the chamber. They believe in what we do. They support us, whether it's financially from their business or whether it's by being active on like 3 committees and volunteering for us, or hey, they've mentioned the chamber to like 5 businesses and they've joined, whatever it might be. We want active people that believe in the chamber and aren't afraid to talk to other members about it. So that's what we're looking for. We're not just looking for someone who, oh yeah, I want to join the chamber board because I just want to. Like I need reasons, and so if anyone's interested, they can email me why they would like to be on the board and a little bit about what they do in the community and things like that. And our board will look at those, and then the membership votes on that.
Okay, and it's hard to believe we're coming up to that time of year, but
I know.
But again, as you said, you're looking for certain members because it's a very active board, and
Correct.
participation is highly encouraged and is needed because of the activities and the events that are put on by the chamber and hosted by the chamber. It's just it's one of those things where. I think sometimes, and you probably hear this from folks, hey, we're looking for members to join our board, but I'm afraid to ask somebody because everybody's so busy. It's like, well, yeah, but organizations, they have to, and they shouldn't be afraid to have their employee or have those board members, ask them to do things to help the organization out.
Right, and usually it's the people that are on multiple boards that are doing a lot of the work and a lot of the volunteering. Anyways, a lot of my committees are the same people from my board or same people from the community, and we are looking for a few new faces, new input. We always want to keep things fresh, but I am forever thankful for those members that join, not one, but probably 3 or 4.
Yeah, and you got such a big area that you cover as well.
Correct.
You have folks who join the chamber that maybe their business isn't located in here, but they do business with, the businesses in our region. Or when you say Meadville area chamber, it's the outskirts, and that's a lot of territory to cover.
Yeah, we have a lot of members from Erie. We have some from Conneaut Lake, Lionsville, to Franklin, to Titusville, to Townville, to Sagertown, to Cambridge Springs, some to Pittsburgh, because again, you want viewers, you want members, you want business, you want new clients, new customers, you want to build relationships. That's what we're all about. We are connectors. We want to connect people to other people, whether it's business people or our students and our youth to business and community leaders, whatever it might be. We are connectors and want to continue to do that. But we can't do all that we do with just the 3 of us. Or the 4 of us. Amy is part-time at the chamber as well, and that's I'm here at Crawford Tech for one of my foundation meetings, and that organization umbrella underneath the chamber does a lot as well with the students, with the youth. So we're not just a fun chamber, we are a lot more than that, especially on local Support Your Chamber of Commerce Day.
That's right. And real quick, why don't you recap what's going on tonight?
Tonight is our Women in Business Expo at the Meadville Country Club from 4 to 8 p.m. It's only $35 to attend. Open to any woman. You do not have to be a chamber member. Come join the fun. Delicious food, cocktails, mocktails, vendors, businesswomen supporting other businesswomen. Start your holiday shopping and support some of these local vendors. And then we have 2 dynamic business community-minded speakers, Bonnie Kuhn of Kuhn Tool and Die, Kathleen Layer of Kathleen Layer Coaching, and all of the vendors donate a gift basket, so a lot of women will be walking away with some great prizes. So join us this evening if you can.
All right, sounds like it's going to be a good time. It sounds like you're going to have a good time here this morning, so we'll let you get to that. And Christa, if folks have questions or want more information, how do they get a hold of you?
They can call the chamber office at 814-337-8030. Stop in our office at 908 Diamond Park. Be sure to follow our social media pages. Julie and Stephanie do a tremendous job with that. I guess we all do, because I was at the event on Saturday, so I posted. We all teamwork. It's all about teamwork and supporting one another. So.
Well, Christa, thank you for calling in this morning. All the best to you tonight, and I probably won't talk to you till after your trip. Have a great time.
Thank you so much, Luke. I appreciate it.
All right, all the best. Thanks,
See you
Christa.
in a couple weeks. Bye-bye.
Right, bye. That's Christa Lundy joining us here this morning, Executive Director of the Meadville Area Chamber of Commerce. Glad she made time for us here on this Wednesday morning.
Nice to be with you.
A planned summit between U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin was put on hold on Tuesday. That pause comes after Moscow's rejection of an immediate ceasefire in Ukraine cast a cloud over attempts at negotiations. A senior White House official told Reuters that, quote, there are no plans for President Trump to meet with President Putin in the immediate future.
You spoke about meeting in Hungary with him. Do you have a timeline or a date set for when?
I would say within 2 weeks or so. Pretty quick.
Trump had announced last week that he and Putin would meet soon in Hungary to try and bring an end to the war in Ukraine.
President Trump, sir, do you believe you can convince Vladimir Putin to end the war in Ukraine?
He met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Friday and afterward endorsed Kiev's demand for an immediate ceasefire based on the current battle lines. Moscow has long demanded Kiev agree to cede more territory before any ceasefire. Reuters and other news organizations reported that Trump's meeting with Zelensky behind closed doors was contentious, with the U.S. president repeatedly using profanity and pushing Zelensky to accept some Russian demands. But Zelensky has painted the meeting as a success because it ended with Trump publicly backing a ceasefire at the present lines.
And we had a very good meeting, very cordial meeting. In my opinion, they should stop the war immediately. You go by the battle line wherever it is, otherwise it's too complicated. You'll never be able to figure it out.
Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov on Tuesday said pausing fighting on the current front line would mean, quote, forgetting about the root causes of the conflict. He said Russia had not changed its position since Trump and Putin met in Alaska in August, a meeting that failed to advance negotiations.
New Directions Community Credit Union is now open in Titusville. They may be new to our community, but they've been serving our region since 1974, providing their members with affordable products and services. Membership is open to anyone who lives, works, worships, volunteers, attends school, regularly conducts business, or who owns a business in Venango, Forest, Warren, or Crawford counties. Visit their new location at 206 South Martin Street in Titusville to learn more about becoming a member. Best of luck to all the students and athletes this fall from New Directions Community Credit Union.
Looking for expert orthopedic care? Dr. Charlie Gates, a trusted name at Titusville Area Hospital, can help you regain mobility and a better quality of life. With years of experience and a passion for personalized care, Dr. Gates specializes in treating a wide range of orthopedic conditions. Whether it's joint pain, sports injuries, or orthopedic surgery, trust Dr. Charlie Gates at Titusville Area Hospital for your orthopedic care. Call 814-827-9770 today to schedule your appointment.
Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning provides residential and light commercial air conditioning services throughout the area. They understand the importance of your cooling system working properly. That is why you can trust in Vanderhoof to do the job right. Whether it's a non-working air conditioner, yearly maintenance, or a new install, you can be assured that we will solve your problem quickly and efficiently. Your home's air conditioning system is far more than just temperature. It's a complete comfort system that combines temperature, humidity, air quality, and above all, safety. Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning in Titusville. Titusville Market Square is home to over 100 unique vendors featuring antiques, collectibles, candles, coins, baked goods, dairy products, food items, comic books, toys, and so much more. You'll discover something new every time you walk through the door. Did we mention the selection of baked goods, breads, Clark's Donuts, and Amish pies? Titusville Market Square has you covered. Stop in to explore today. Titusville Market Square in downtown Titusville.
Our new home. Somebody pinch me.
Somebody say pinch?
Pinch,
Ooh,
pinch.
pinch time.
We mean we just bought this.
Yeah, we just bought a new house. Why are there crabs? Oh, you don't call for pinches. Call for protection.
Hit it.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Your State Farm agent is ready to help you choose the right coverage for your new house and your car.
All right, which way to the sea? We're in Ohio.
So is that close or
No.
You got a pool?
No.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I'm Ronnie Long.
And I'm Lisa Mellon.
The name Armstrong reflects more than just a company. It's a promise.
While others focus on the short term, we're building for a future that's limitless.
From the dawn of cable television to the rise of the digital age, we've delivered cutting-edge technology like our advanced fiber network that redefines what's possible.
Guided by our core values, we have proudly served and strengthened communities like yours for generations.
Fat Chad's is Titusville's premier dining destination. Come hungry and enjoy these menu favorites: T-bone steak, homemade meatloaf dinner, or soft shell crab tacos. Dive into fresh pasta entrees like shrimp and scallop pasta or our signature Asiago chicken. And don't miss our famous burgers and fish sandwiches, all served with fresh cut fries. Fridays mean prime rib specials. Enjoy wild game Saturdays. And on Sundays, it's our all-you-can-eat wing buffet. For good food and good times, it's Fat Chad's Brewing in Titusville.
211 is an easy-to-remember telephone number for finding health and human services for everyday needs and in crisis situations. Every day, highly trained 211 call specialists provide referrals to basic human needs resources like food banks and shelters, physical and mental health, employment support, support for youth and child care programs, and support for adults and persons with disabilities. To learn more, dial 211 or visit pa211nw.org.
U.S. stocks closed mixed, with the Dow adding nearly 0.5%, the S&P 500 flat, and the Nasdaq dipping marginally. Third quarter earnings season has shifted into overdrive, with corporate giants such as General Motors, GE Aerospace, 3M, and Coca-Cola posting generally upbeat results. But with major U.S. stock indexes hovering near record highs and valuations stretched, upbeat results alone could prove insufficient to sustain investor risk appetite, says Richard Mullen, CEO and founder of Palace Capital Advisors.
I think that the majority of the returns have been put in for the market this year. I wouldn't expect a further prolific advancement to the upside. I think we could stay status quo or trade sideways, perhaps down a little bit. Earnings, again, is going to drive the markets, but I also think that a lot of the price appreciation has baked in the earnings that we're seeing right now.
Among those that reported results, General Motors lifted its forecast and tempered its anticipated tariff hit, sending shares up nearly 15%. Coca-Cola shares gained more than 4% after solid consumer demand drove its better-than-expected results. Manufacturer 3M advanced more than 7.5% after hiking its full-year forecast, bolstered by its focus on higher-margin products and cost controls. On the flip side, Netflix dropped almost 6% in extended trading after the streaming company missed earnings targets due to an unexpected expense from a dispute with Brazilian tax authorities.
Joining us this morning is Susan Williams, President and CEO of the Venango Area Chamber of Commerce. Good morning, Susan. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm very happy to be back in my office this morning. We've had a great couple of days out and about in the community with the energy conference, the Drake Forum, welcoming visitors from literally all over the world to come and have great discussions about what the future of energy is and do it right here in our backyard.
And this is the third day in a row I get to see you.
That's lucky for me, lucky for you, right?
No, great event, a lot of fun. It was nice seeing a lot of local people. And I think the thing that fascinated me was, you have all these industry people in the field of energy, right, that recognize this area for what it is and its history. And there's always that appreciation, whether they mean it or not, I don't know. But there's that appreciation for it. And I think you get people who say, this is so beautiful, everybody's so friendly, we want to come back next year or down the road, which is nice to hear.
Well, and there are certainly discussions that talk about what the relevance of our area in the future is. And we definitely heard some discussions saying some things are a ways out. There's a lot of challenges ahead particularly for rural communities, but for Pennsylvanians, there are issues with permitting and such that need work and can take a lot of time. But there's a willingness to talk about a future, and for me, that's really, really important. That we have people that haven't given up, that are talking about what's coming down the road. There was a lot of discussion off and on all through the 2 days about AI. Mm-hmm. There are people on both sides of AI, but it is here, it's coming. And how do we use what we know in our region to perhaps capitalize on some of that?
Well, I think the other fascinating parts of that is I don't think people understand what it takes for AI to work.
and the data centers and the energy involved in
and the resources. Well, a couple of the highlights for me too, we're seeing our young people there. So we had students from Oil City Area School District that were assisting. They were helping with some things, but they were also listening and asking questions and asking good questions. I actually heard them in the back with one of the speakers having a really in-depth conversation. Largely, it sounded like it was around AI and about some of these resources. So having our young people involved and engaged in meetings like this is really important. So that was one thing that was a highlight, and I made a connection with some of the students on the train ride last night. We got to ride the train up to Ironworks. The other thing I want to do, just a shout out, is the technology that happened through this conference provided by you and other local connections and vendors. I'm sure you can recall very quickly the first year and are trying to really understand what this forum was, who would be attending, and how we would make it available to others who couldn't be there, and how far that's come, and how wonderful it is that we have the talent and the resources for those of you that make that happen. I'm always very, very proud to know that we have you here.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for all you did to make sure it was a top-notch forum.
Would you obviously the chamber was a big part of that as well, and helping in this case Andrew Tabler recognize his vision and support that, because I think, and we talk about this a lot, and maybe this will segue into some other things. I think, and not a knock on people here, I think sometimes people don't quite understand it until they see it or experience it, and then it's like, oh, now I get it. Now I understand it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why, for me, I hate to keep going back to, having some vision and being willing to dream some dreams. We do have to imagine things that are bigger than we've maybe ever done before, or things that we often get in this thing in, and I'm sure it's common to all rural communities, where we think that only, high quality, great things can happen somewhere else, somewhere bigger, somewhere with more resources. And I have been reminded over and over and over again through my career that we have such resourceful, smart, problem-solving people here that really, when we're clear about what we want, that's a lot of it, is real clarity about what we want the outcome to be, and then being willing to ask others to help, being willing to share what we want to happen. And it's amazing how we can make that happen. So I think there's more opportunities ahead, not only around the Drake Forum, but about many, many things that if we're just willing to, share.
Well, and that's an excellent point, and makes me think of the other folks I was working with in terms of Mark Motter and Jeff Corbett, who both have great experience with what they do and travel and have that worldly part of it, right? And
yeah, they have a world reference. They know what's possible, but they also know that they come back here and do it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a little more challenging to get, we don't always have the resources right at hand, to whether it's equipment or, as Andrew talked about yesterday, the first year or two, we were challenged by the internet availability there. But it wasn't as unreachable as we thought. Honestly, the first year we were kind of like, well, it can't happen. It's just not available. And we had to dig a little, well, it is available, but what is the hurdle to get across? And with the help of some very generous funders and a few phone calls, I think that happened and won't be a problem in the future.
There you go. Yeah. Does that make you think of other challenges that maybe your chamber members face in our region, or are they overcoming those things with the availability of technology and other resources?
Yeah, well, if there's anything that makes my heart hurt, it's knowing right now that as we sit here, that I have chamber members who are out there struggling with something that someone else has the resources to help with, and very well maybe just a phone call away. They're struggling with something that they just need to share, and we can do that in confidence if it's something that they're not able to talk to others about. But it may be something that a quick call and a quick connection will get them to exactly what they need to take care of something that they're struggling with right now. And that's really the value of the chamber. It's making those connections. The connections can be to other people, but they can also be to tools and resources and something we know or something we have available here. We solve problems like that every single day, but I know there's a lot of others out there that somehow just think their problem is their own, and that's hard for me, and something that we want to continue to work with. Just tell us what you need to happen, and let's see if we can help you.
And by the way, if somebody isn't alerting you to some challenges that are out there, you don't know, you're not able to offer advice or sit down with somebody, or if they're having an event that they're trying to get out there and well, nobody's helping me and I'm a have you reached out to the chamber to say, hey, I'm doing this, what can you do to help?
Contrary to all what many believe, we here at the chamber are not all knowing. We try.
It's close. It's close.
I always say one of the things that's been nice about being at the chamber is your business is my business. I get to stick my nose in places that otherwise I wouldn't have thought, I should. But because so many people do expect us to know what's going on and to really understand what the challenges are, we do our best to reach out. But we're just people too, so we try to be, respectful and considerate about where we go and what we ask. So if there's something that that you think we need to know, let us know. We'll retain it if it's worth keeping. But certainly a call is welcome. That's often the best way to get things to us. I'm pretty generous with sharing my cell phone number. So for those who have a connection to me through my email or a call to the office, you'll be able to get me even when I'm on the other side of the world. I'll do my best to get you to what you need. Emails are great. If you can give us details in emails, sometimes, I may get an email at 10 o'clock at night and be able to answer that question immediately. So you don't have to wait for the perfect time. I'm happy to, if I'm not available, I won't answer it right away, but if I am, I will.
Is that a hint that you're doing some traveling?
It is. Yes,
Yeah.
we will be on, I don't know if it's exactly the other side of the world, but around the globe. So we are really excited to be heading to Italy on Saturday with 33 community members, Kat and I and 33 community members. We're hoping it all goes smoothly, that some of the government shutdown doesn't create any havoc for us, but for heaven's sakes, we're going on a grand adventure. So if it's a little inconvenient, I think we can deal. We're excited to spend some time. That's what I'm most excited about, is spending time with people from our community, that many who I know, but all that I'd like to know better. So it's often easier to really get to know someone when you're in a different environment. So it will be different indeed.
Yeah. Last chamber trip you took was what? When?
The last place I went to was Greece. And in fact, it was the same year that Christa went to Italy. We went about, weeks apart from each other. And we were traveling with other chamber directors, chamber presidents. We did cross paths often with a group, another chamber that was traveling. But that we were very, very new from travel from the pandemic. So I believe that was 2022.
Oh, okay.
2 or 3. So it's been a few years for me for traveling with the chamber. I've done some international travel with friends since, and it's been, I've felt safe. It's the other places we visited are welcoming, and I love that you really get some different perspective about what businesses look like, about what communities look like, get exposed to different types of hospitality. That's important, and then come back to our community with that fresh perspective. I love traveling. I love coming home.
And I know we talk a lot about that feeling of coming back. And I know it's going to be exciting for you to be out and experiencing different things with local people. But there's a lot of networking involved. And I think this kind of ties into the leadership program as well, and that initial retreat. Same philosophy, right? Getting people together outside of the norm and just have them get to know each other.
Yeah, we have kicked off our 8th year of Leadership Venango. We have a wonderful class this year. I think we have a number of people that knew each other before coming to the class, but we have a lot of people that did not know each other. This is another one of the classes that there are probably more people that I did not know before we met for the, to get ready for the class than I did know. So it's wonderful watching them develop relationships already. And we've done our first monthly session. We were to Emlenton, and I think it's fair to say that more people from the class had not spent any significant time in Emlenton, if any. Maybe passed through was all. So it's really nice to connect them to other things here in our county. So they had a chance to walk down Main Street, have an idea of what's not only going on there now, but what is planned to go on. There are some new businesses opening soon right on Main Street. I'm hoping maybe even to check and see if the coffee shop has its doors open later this week. I'm going to try to ignore answering phones since I'm the only one here.
Oh.
We'll see how that goes. But we have many more things planned. We have wonderful speakers. We have a great lineup for this whole year. And the 14 from the class are promised to have a really meaningful experience through the next 8 months now.
That's great. You're watching The Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel.
This month, get up to $3,000 more for your trade at Community Chevy's Flip or Treat sales event. Is your old ride's condition scary and you're tired of the same online tricks? At Community, get up to $3,000 more when you flip your old ride for a nicer, newer one. And if another dealer offers more for your trade, we'll treat you to a free $50 gas card. Either way, you can save over $11,000 off best-selling trucks like the new Silverado. The Flip or Treat sales event this month only at Community Chevy.
Susan Williams with us here this morning, President and CEO of the Venango Area Chamber of Commerce. Well, you're going to be away. When you come back, what are some things that will be on your desk that you'll be working on as we look at, well, you'll be looking really at November?
Yes. Well, I have a few personal things going into the end of the year, so I'm keeping that ever in mind as I navigate year end. I would say the most important thing is just that, navigating year end. So we're like every other organization that we've begun to pool our numbers and look at budget for next year, to take a look at our board of directors. We're probably going to have a couple available slots for those who might like to serve in leadership here at the chamber. So I have a board meeting tomorrow, so we start talking about that. We take a look at our strategic plan and say, are the things we're doing still meaningful and relevant? And should we be making shifts? Should we be working with new partners, with new programs? So those things sound simple. In fact, even in my head, sometimes I think, well, tomorrow I'll do that. Then I remember that everything I just mentioned are ongoing processes over the next 2 to 3 months. We just put word out that we're looking for our Citizen of the Year for this year, and we'll be exploring our Business and Partner of the Year. So those are all things that will involve multiple conversations, meetings with people inside of our office and out. And they'll get us ready to kick off a great 2026. Ooh, that's hard to believe, but that's what we'll be doing. So we'll be looking for opportunities to be out and about in the community. I think we've scheduled a couple of mixers through the end of the year, so you'll start hearing about those. But our true event season has kind of come to an end for 2025. We'll have two more sessions of Leadership Venango, our November and December sessions. So this is actually some of my favorite stuff. This is when we really look at organizational excellence and what the foundation is that we do here at the Chamber to make sure that as we go into a new year, we are prepared to be available for our members, to be available for our community, and make sure that the things we're doing are important.
Sort of a supporting role with a lot of events coming up. I think Oil City's Christmas Past, First Night, yes. Things like that.
Well, everyone on my team are willing volunteers for community events. So often we're the people on the street with those teams helping, whether it's moving around tables or signs or whatever it takes. And in some cases we sit on committees, so we're part of the teams that help decide what's going to happen. So we will be playing some supporting roles there. And willing to be invited into other things like that. So I have a great team, and they're very community minded. And I remind people all the time that they have families, they have personal lives, so they can't do everything. But if you can reach any one of us with the thing that you're doing that resonates with us and our skill sets, we're happy to see how we can be helpful.
I think it takes a lot to get ready for a whole new year, whether you're a business, nonprofit. So there's a lot of work involved in that. Do you enjoy kind of this part of the year where maybe the event side winds down, but it's the planning and preparing for the new year?
Yes, I absolutely do. That strategizing and planning is probably one of my very favorite parts. And you and I had a brief discussion at the energy conference, and I'll mention, probably one of my other favorite things too about this job is the unexpected things when we get the calls or the visits from someone that's either looking for assistance, looking for information. And I had a really interesting experience last weekend where I got to meet with 3 young entrepreneurs. I would suggest that they already are young entrepreneurs. They're already doing all the things that someone does when they're ready to start marketing a product and dreaming a dream to be business owners. So I met with 3 young ladies. They were 8 years old and very passionate about their dream to be business owners. So very, very exciting to see that we have young people thinking that way. I was even more impressed that they have mothers who are encouraging them, but helping them understand what the challenges are. And they were willing to reach out to me and ask me if I would come and meet with them and talk to them. And honestly, they had more questions laid out for me than I did for them. I had some basic things, but these are 3 young ladies who without a doubt will be business owners in the future, and they've got a nice running start. They would probably be a great resource to some of our current business owners in knowing and understanding what the challenges are and how to make connections. It was a delightful experience, one that I hope I'll get to do again.
Should we be surprised, or should we be kind of on the lookout for more of these types of conversations and opportunities? It seems like kids of all ages, they've got a cell phone, and there's that ability to automatically go on and sell things on Marketplace or eBay, or to get that the entrepreneurial spirit in them at an earlier age than maybe what we think. So are there opportunities for that?
I think there are plenty of opportunities. One thing that I am not confident about, that I know, is whether these young women were purely influenced by their own personal experiences in their homes and with their parents, or how much the school was interacting with them. So that is something that I would be interested in knowing. Because I met with them outside of the school. But this, there are wonderful programs in Franklin. Jess Carroll has been working with young makers through this entire summer. So I did have a conversation with her about, where these kind of things go. We're more likely here at the Chamber to encounter teenagers because we do a lot of work in the schools around the Venango Ready program. But even yesterday had a wonderful visit with one of the young women who sits on Oil Cities Council and has great aspirations for her college years and what she wants to do that will definitely take her around the world, and how we engage those people in our community. Because one of the things that we know is that more young people than not will eventually want to come back home, wherever that home is, whether it's Oil City, Franklin, Titusville. There is a real draw for people to want to come home. And we've got to make sure that we prepare them for what the transitional jobs are, and having a good understanding of how, really they should go seek that education, seek those experiences. But if and when they want to make their current home their forever home, how they'll best reintegrate into the community. So we need to be staying connected with them. Now they're a captive audience. So while they're in school, in high school, this is a great time to get them and have these conversations, because it's harder to figure out where they are when they leave. And often they're out there in the world thinking, I'd love to come home, but I don't think there's a job for me. And we're sitting here thinking, oh my goodness, we have this job that we really wish we could find someone to fill, but we don't know how to reach them. So making those connections now, which through the Venango Ready program we actually do, and we do our best to get their personal emails and stay in touch with them and let them know how to stay in touch with us here. So that is the plan, that we'll have a long relationship with anyone that's grown up here.
Susan, you can now answer the phone. Thank you for your time as always.
Thank you. I won't see you next week, I don't think, but maybe in a couple.
Sounds good. Have fun. Enjoy your trip.
Have a great week.
You too. Thank you. Susan Williams joining us here this morning, President and CEO of the Venango Area Chamber of Commerce.